certainly the best.
All right, now a very good morning to you. That's, of course, is always the curtain raiser of the program this morning on ITV. Once you hear that, definitely you know that it's time for the program. My name is Evan Sunokoge. You're welcome to Wednesday's edition of the program this morning on ITV. I've got my co-anchors. Noluwapo Stevens is right here, and of course Wilson Omasho is right here with me in Benin. You're welcome, lady and gentlemen.
Good morning, Evans. Good to see you as always. Yeah, so many things to talk about this morning: politics, security, and a whole lot more. Yeah,
and when we talk about security, obviously we should be able to look at the increase in terrorism activities in the northeast. I think it's better explained. I mean, with the war in Iran and with the U.S. embassy giving their security alerts to their citizens and all that. So I think it's expected at this time that all those things will just increase naturally. But I love the way the president has, come out about it to say that Nigeria will never surrender to terrorists no matter what. I think that's a good statement from a leader. Wilson.
Yeah, you're right about it. It shows resilience. It shows that the president knows what he is really doing. Don't forget about the agreement we had with so many countries in fighting against terrorism. We had an agreement with Turkey, with Israel, and with the U.S. From what we heard, the foot soldiers already on the ground gathering intel and all that. Sometimes they say if something really wants to stop, it seems to gets worse in some particular ways, or they increase the activity so that they don't want to die, don't want to give up. That's very much active, knowing fully aware that their end is near. That's what I believe. So these activities you're saying, these attacking of soft targets, villages here and there, is to destabilize the government so that people will lose hope in the government of the day. But with these agreements we've had with some countries, I believe that definitely will overcome.
Well, I pray so. Only the fact that I'm personally concerned, with the way that the terrorists seem to be going about it. Now, I just stumbled on something this morning that terrorist groups in Nigeria's northeast state are expanding their use of commercial off-chef drones. Imagine they are using drones. I don't know. Well, just like what we said, that the president has assured that no matter what, that Nigeria will never succumb to terrorists.
Well, I don't think this is the first time Nigerians are hearing conversations like that. I just feel the president is trying to give us that ease of mind, relax. It's under control, but is it really under control is the question. Just on the light note, before I even delve into what the president said, I saw a report where the Nigerians in diaspora MD, that's Abike Dambirarewa, was telling Nigerians over there in Iran to stay put and just be on their cover. And that got a lot of Nigerians really, talking and questioning, what do you mean by stay put? How about you get necessary measures to get us out of that place down to Nigeria? But away from that, the security situation in the country is alarming. Last week we had conversation regarding state policing, and the main critical question was, is this the solution to all of the terrorism and insecurity have in the country? In a recent interview, one of the spokesperson, I love to put it that way, from the northern part of the country, Sheikh Gumi, did say that Nigerian politicians, the leaders of this country, are aware about the terrorists that we have in the country. He did state, more or less like inciting the government, where he said that the politicians know their name, they know where they stay, they have their phone numbers, because he himself, he has had the opportunity of going to meet them, even carrying policemen and women down to this so-called terrorist. And he also spoke about dialogue, if that's the way to go. Over time in the country, we've heard the politicians saying, do not pay ransom, but they themselves, do they also get to pay ransom? Just the course of last week, we saw an intriguing attack in Borno where over 100 women and 100 children were actually abducted from Borno State, and the president coming out.
The one that was reported.
Yes, and the president coming out to assure Nigerians not surrender. It's actually a good step, but moving forward with one action, because it has to go and be put to an end.
Just a quick one. Yes. She talked about Abike Dabirewa attempted to stay put. Yes, since that war started, the airspace around UAE, Middle East, been shut. So how are you going to leave Iran? You can't. You have to just be where you are, obey their safety measures. That's the only way out of it for now, because border planes, they are scared to fly to that particular airspace. It's a warning, a global warning. If you take a look at the hub in Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, no flight in, no flight out. Just be where you are. So they just can't risk it. If it's a no-go area for planes, come on, would you want to be there hard? Can't you be like, we have to take people out, you plane have to the release airport, you have to let us pass? Nobody's going to do that because of the danger of them being blown away from the sky. You understand? So that is the reason why they were asked to stay put. It is a global thing. Around a particular area, the airspace has been locked.
Now, Wilson and Anu, I think I love the way the U.S. is, trying to get into, the security issue, because for the first time, the U.S., they are right here in Nigeria right now. Now, they have said that Nigeria needs to understand the characteristics of the security issues that we're facing. In the first place, there is the jihadist movement, there is the terrorist issue, there is the Boko Haram insurgency. So all three in one. So I think it is not just enough to say that Nigeria will never, succumb to terrorism and all that. We should understand that we are fighting three characteristics under one umbrella. So I think if we understand it in that way, it will go a long way.
We're talking about understanding it in one way. They have just one particular source. They are fundamentalists. They are Islamic extremists. That's just groups everything into one particular thing that can really make sense. Yes, we have the ISWAP, we have the Boko Haram, we have just 3 or 4 splinter groups. They all are saying the same thing. You understand that dominance, kill, cause mayhem, trouble, destroy. All for us to propagate our own religion as part of it. And now you have a mix of politics. And like what she rightly said, Gumi said, these people, they know them and it's true. So what is that preventing them from going after them? Even if the US came the other time to say, look, let's say that we are out where we know what is happening, through a couple of bombs here and there. You got to see the reaction of the military. Now, very dark person on this side where you get to see rude stories approaching a military base in Borno State. From what we heard, distress calls were sent to the Nigerian Air Force. There was no response, no reply. Why that delay? Why that tactical blunder? And guess what? They were overrun.
Anyway,
really sad. But just to add my own 2 cents, I just hope that Nigerians' life are not being, taken as a joke, and the insecurity in the country is not politicized. Because take you down to the election that brought in former President Muhammadu Buhari. We saw what happened with Goodluck's Jonathan, and how he was able to go through all of that, and at the end of the day, he had to let peace, reign.
And similar things seems to be happening.
Of course. So a popular person, not sure who, I don't know if it's Abacha, who said that if a security situation in the country persists for a couple of days, that means the government is involved.
Just credit to Ledger Sani Abacha.
Anyway, like what we said, we just hope and pray that the government of the day should be able to rise up to the occasion, so that we can put all this behind us. We are not alone on this program. We have all the network centers. Lagos is right there, and of course Abuja. Lagos, beautiful Mercy, is right there. Mercy, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Evans. Good morning, Wilson. Good morning, and I can see that, Evans, I can see that you and Wilson, you guys are twinning this morning. It's a good one. Okay, talking about the insecurity in the country, it has been a major problem, and what the people want, or what Nigerians want, or what they've been saying is a lasting solution. I mean, we hear a story of this story today in this state, we hear a story tomorrow in another state, especially in the northern part of the country. It is alarming. I mean, Nigeria wants lasting solutions. When will insecurity end in the country? And then the president came out to say that, okay, Nigeria will never succumb come to terrorism in the country. At the same time, you know, it's not just about words. What about the actions? Not just coming out to say those words. Are they being implemented? What are we doing towards? I mean, we just want a lasting solution to the issue of insecurity. We cannot keep coming coming out every day on the media or on television talking about insecurity. When will it end, or when will it stop, or when will it reduce? But basically from Lagos today, we're not looking at that. We know we've been seeing defections lately, and we saw the APC growing dominance, what it means for Nigerians' democracy ahead of 2027. You know, lots of governance, lot of people defecting from their party, especially from the PDP to the APC. We also saw the Zamfara State Governor, Daud Alawada, just defected, you know, to the APC. Does this give them a chance for 2027? So that is what we'll be talking about on this table today.
Thank you, beautiful Mercy. Yeah, that's what politics is all about. It keeps on gathering momentum, and the political parties keep on getting bigger. You know, but in this case now, it seems there's only one political party that keeps on getting bigger by the day.
You know what, this is very, very not satisfactory.
Yeah.
Now, if you go to Mary Lane, when Governor Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he hasn't just back again to democracy, he was the only one that was there. ADC. This man was alone. He stood alone. He's been following his party from that particular time, this particular moment, until they now formed the merger. What is wrong with our politicians of nowadays? Why can't they borrow a leaf from him?
Anyway,
you understand? Because he's been there. Even when Obasanjo, you had this with Obasanjo, you get to see their allocation being blocked and all that. The man maintained the AD flag. He never looked at any other political party. He was able to hold on to Lagos, and right now, with his own coalition, he's not taking over Nigeria through the APC. Why can't the political party do likewise?
Yeah.
Why they don't want to be alone?
Honestly,
that's why we're going to be looking at you know, something that seems to we must talk about. I mean, we hear the way government go about their infrastructural developments in the country. Here in Edo State, we've seen the projects going on, and on the mind of an average Nigerian, is this politics? You know, you begin to wonder. I think this is politics or this is governance. So we're going to be looking at it, you know, from that direction this morning to actually see these politicians, will they give us good roads? Will they give us good health care? Will they give us good education and all that? Is this politics, or is it not politics, or is it just governance?
Well, I don't know if I'm to use, it's a sham that in the 21st century we're still talking about roads, electricity.
Yeah.
A lot of Nigerians across Nigeria have been complaining about the poor power supply that we've had over time. So just as I did say yesterday, anything you get to do right now, because of this timing, it's going to be tied to politics in one way or the other. But it shouldn't be. All of these things are the basic amenities that Nigerians as humans you should enjoy.
All right, so Abuja is right there. Abuja, good morning. Yeah, Abuja, good morning.
Good morning.
Cholu, good morning. Okay, I think
we're experiencing technical glitch.
All right, so we will just you know, take a short pause now, and later we should be able to bring Abuja into our conversation this morning. So we'll take a short pause and bring in Olatan Usahai, the corporate trainer, on his corporate world this morning. The program is this morning on ITV. Please stay tuned.
No Sahai. Today, and I'm so elated to come your way today and add premium value to your day, especially as a career person, a business person, and even someone that is into NGO area. Inuagata No Sahai is my name one more time. And you know, we have been on the trajectory of driving workplace productivity with emotional intelligence, and we are presently on the third component, the third pillar of emotional intelligence, which is motivation. First of all, remember that emotional intelligence is being smart with how to manage your emotions and also being smart with managing the emotion of other people. When you zero that on the workplace, emotional intelligence for you as a leader or as a boss in the workplace is your ability to ensure workplace emotional stability with the knowledge of how to manage your and also the knowledge of how to manage your employees or of your team members. This is very important. And like I've said on this series, you know, emotional intelligence has 5 pillars. It has 5 components. We have self-awareness, we have self-regulation, we have motivation, we have empathy, and we have social awareness. And at the moment, we are on the emotional intelligence component of motivation. Now, emotional intelligence component of motivation is not about the extrinsic factors of salaries, of promotion and allowances, as important as they are. Emotional intelligence component of motivation is not about, you know, you just enjoy bonuses and enjoying all the financial benefit that has to do with your work. Now, those factors are good. Those factors are important, you know, but they are unable to sustain long-term employee engagement. Then emotional intelligence component of motivation actually focus on intrinsic factors of purpose. The ability to connect work to purpose, connect work to a sense of meaning. Emotional intelligence component of motivation focus on that desire for excellence. It focuses on that desire for growth. It focuses on that desire to make a positive difference. And this is very, very important for you as a leader, being able to tie the work of your team members, tie their tasks to purpose. Very, very important. And as a way of bringing this to light, we are going to use a case scenario, you know, of a government-owned secondary school, you know, in Nigeria. To bring this to light, we see how the leaders of that particular government-owned secondary school was able to manage the crisis and brought in the emotional intelligence component of motivation to resolve the matter. The case scenario is emotional intelligence motivation in a public secondary school during a crisis. Remember, I just told you that emotional intelligence component of motivation is critical about connecting work to purpose. Is about having the desire for growth. It is about having the desire to take responsibility even when supervisors are not present. We are looking at a case scenario to bring this to light, and that case scenario is emotional intelligence motivation in a public secondary school during a crisis. It goes thus. Toward the end of the second term of the 2024-2025 academic calendar, a major crisis erupted in a government-owned secondary school in a Nigerian state. A sudden delay in the release of operational funds affected several school activities. Essential supplies for practical classes became scarce. Routine maintenance slowed down, and teachers became discouraged because some welfare commitments earlier promised by the school management could not be immediately fulfilled. As the school prepared to enter the third term, a very critical period for students preparing for external exams, the atmosphere in the school became tense. Many teachers felt frustrated and demotivated. Some began to reduce their extra academic support for students, while others quietly complained that the effort they invested in their work was not being matched by adequate support from authorities. Sensing the emotional climate of the staff, now this is the leadership of the school taking responsibility to see that, you know, the situation is well managed, and they are bringing in the emotional intelligence component of motivation. Remember, I told you that the emotional intelligence component of motivation is about tying and connecting work to purpose, and this was exactly what the management of this particular government-owned secondary school in Nigeria did during this crisis. Let me continue. Sensing the emotional climate of the staff, the leadership of the school called an emergency meeting with teachers and key non-teaching staff. Rather than focusing on blame or excuses, The leadership acknowledged the reality of the situation and openly shared the constraints affecting the school. They reassured staff members that while external support might take time to arrive, the mission of preparing the student for success must not be compromised. This is the management of the school gradually bringing in purpose, but gradually bringing in the value that work adds to the society, the value that work adds to life, the difference that work adds to life. This is what the emotional intelligence component of motivation is all about. Remember, I told you it is not just all about salaries, it's not all about bonuses, it's not just about allowances, but ensuring that work is connected to purpose. Work is connected to the value that people or employees add to life and add to the society. Work is connected to meaning. I continue with the case scenario. The leadership then shifted the conversation from frustration to purpose. They reminded the staff that many of the students came from modest backgrounds and relied heavily on the school for academic guidance and moral direction. They emphasized that the term would determine the future of many final year students sitting for external examinations, and that the commitment of the teachers during this period could shape those students' life opportunities, connecting work to purpose, connecting work to meaning, connecting work to making a positive difference in the life of people, making positive impact in the life of people. In this case here, students. Now, the case scenario continues. To reinforce this sense of purpose, the leadership introduced voluntary academic support initiatives. Teachers were encouraged, but not compelled, to organize short revision clinics after school hours on selected weekends and on selected weekends. Surprisingly, many teachers responded positively. Some offered to mentor weaker students in small groups, while others collaborated to share teaching materials and lesson plans. Although the financial situation had not immediately improved, the emotional atmosphere in the school began to change. Teachers started taking pride in their collective effort to ensure that the students did not suffer academically because of the temporary crisis. The leadership continuously appreciated the staff publicly during meetings and assemblies, very, very important, highlighting stories of dedication and sacrifice. By the end of the third term, the school recorded strong examination outcomes. More importantly, the staff developed a renewed sense of professional pride and unity. This is what connecting work to purpose can achieve. What could have become a period of disengagement was transformed into a demonstration of commitment driven by purpose rather than external rewards. Like I said from the very beginning, the emotional intelligence component of motivation is not just about extrinsic rewards, it's intrinsic, factor of purpose, of meaning, of being able to making a positive difference. Now, as we move towards the conclusion of this segment of the program, we are going to see 3 emotional intelligence motivation lessons for leaders from this case scenario. Number 1 lesson: purpose sustains motivation when external rewards are limited. Purpose sustains motivation when external rewards are limited. Remember, emotional intelligence component of motivation is about connecting work to purpose, and if you're able to do that as a leader, you will sustain motivation even when external rewards are limited. Then number 2, transparency builds emotional trust. Now, the management of the school, they were very transparent about the situation of the school, the financial situation of the school, and as a result of that, they were able to win the commitment and dedication of the teachers. When leaders communicate transparently during difficult periods, employees feel respected and are more willing to support collective goals. Then the 3rd lesson from this case scenario is that recognition strengthens intrinsic motivation. And this was exactly what the management of the school did. They recognized the effort, they recognized the commitment of the staff, even during crisis period. Although financial rewards were not immediately available, the leadership consistently recognized and celebrated the extra efforts of teachers. Public appreciation reinforced their sense of value and professional pride. Recognition can often motivate people more deeply than material rewards because it affirms their contribution and identity. Very important. This case scenario demonstrates that the emotional intelligence component of motivation is fundamentally about inspiring people through meaning, that is purpose, connecting work to purpose, trust and recognition, especially when circumstances make external rewards difficult to provide. So as leaders, it is very important, wherever sphere of life or industry you are in, understand that one way that you can drive intrinsic motivation in your people is to connect their work to purpose, to connect their work to making a difference, especially in situations where, you know, they say when all things are equal. Remember, all things are never equal, and all things are more unequal in the Nigerian environment. So you as a leader, be intelligent enough, be smart enough to be able to imbibe this emotional intelligence component of motivation, which is the third pillar of emotional intelligence, to be able to see that you connect the work of your team members, connect the work of your people to purpose, connect it to meaning and the ability to make a difference, and then we are able to, you know, ensure that you get that desired engagement and commitment from them. I believe lots of value have been added to you today. I know you want to ask questions concerning this topic on emotional intelligence. My email is inuarata@gmail.com. Send your questions, send your inquiries, and then I'm able to provide answers to you, you know, and be able to take things to the next level. That's the email on the screen, inuarata@gmail.com. And when I come again next week, Wednesday, my name will not change. It will still remain Inuarata No Sahai. Your day is so blessed. Thank you.
The man went out to bring in thugs to come and beat her.
Yeah.
In a situation like that, do you think women would have seen that and still want to speak?
Really, we're talking That's about. What I said. So when they bullied her,
Yeah.
if she's not bold enough, she will shut up.
What is your advice for girls out there that are so desperate to be married?
We women, we have to be really intentional about our parenting.
If you know a child is being abused, or you see signs, a bruise or a child, it has to be investigated.
On CMI this beautiful morning on ITV. I am Marcelina Nkwa. We'll be reviewing the papers this morning, and our guest that will be helping us reviewing the papers is Dr. Victor Ohai. He is a UN humanitarian ambassador. Doctor, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
All right, our first papers this morning that we will be looking at is the Daily Trust newspaper. The big headline on the Daily Trust newspaper says, "Fuel crisis deepens, economists tell federal government to act." You get that on page 3 and also on page 4 on the Daily Trust newspaper. Another headline there says, nursing students protest 544% hike in fees. You get that on page 5 on the Daily Trust papers. Another one there says, troops neutralize terrorists, recover arms in Sokoto. You get that in page 6 on the Daily Trust newspaper. Fake doctor to die by hanging in Ekiti State. You get that also on page 5 on the Daily Trust newspaper. Another headline says, NSCDC personnel shot dead after accidental discharge killed one. You get that on page 13 on the Daily Trust newspaper. Another one says, resident block highway over insecurity in Ondo State. You get that on page 6 on the Daily Trust newspaper. PDP leaders move to safe party. You get that on page 19. Another headline that says, 2 brothers drowned fleeing phone snatchers in Kano State. You get that on page 5 on the Daily Trust newspaper. Dr. Victor, let's talk about the trending story, the fuel crisis depends economics. Tell federal government to act. We've been seeing the hiking for prices recently. Let's talk about that.
Well, there are 2 things. First of all, the crisis in the Middle East, while there's a price increase, it comes with opportunities, but it also comes with costs. And we may not be involved in the war directly, but indirectly we are. With Iran currently threatening to shut in outgress through the Straits of Hormuz, it means therefore that oil, because that's where most of the Arab countries pass their oil, the tankers pass through to go and supply the rest of the world. If that happens, then you can be sure that fuel prices can get to as high as over 3,000 per litre here. However, the government can do something about it. Our oil is our oil. We can decide, instead of even giving subsidies, which is what some will be quick to suggest right now. Yeah. We can decide, because it's our oil, to sell it very cheaply on condition that it will sell cheaply to Nigerians. That is a choice that we have. We make our profits from some of the sales, but we also help our people by selling, to Dangote for local refining at a cheaper price. Okay. Moving on, we're still on the paper's review. Let's just take a look at the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. The Nigerian Tribune newspaper, the big headline there says, kidnapping protests in Ondo, Oyo State. All right, another headline there says, Middle East crisis may trigger inflation, capital outflow, federal government. You get that on page 27 on the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Another one says, surging PMS price, federal government orders deployment of 100,000 CNG conversion kits nationwide. You get that on page 2 on the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Another headline there says, ASU Unilag begins strike over unpaid salaries. You get that on page 28 on the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Appeal court ruling, PDP factions hold tight to party. You get that on page 2. Another headline there says, NAF offers drone support to INEC for 2027 election monitoring. All right, that is for that. Dr. Victor, we saw the, let's talk about the appeal court ruling. PDP factions hold tight to party. Let's talk about that. Okay, so the soul of the PDP is at stake here right now. While the decimation of the party may seem like a disadvantage, it presents an opportunity for those who have remained. And for those who have remained, they know that in terms of structure and around the country, no matter how you want to say, PDP is very widespread. And it just takes building back confidence and getting the right people in the leadership to be able to get it back in full contention. And it's still a contender against the ruling party. However, as we know, there's every attempt to make sure that it is destroyed from within, by other other interested parties, let me use that language. So, but what you have right now is the two factions, what they want, they understand this power, and then they're both digging in. Some are externally controlled, and so it doesn't matter, let the party be destroyed. And others are genuinely concerned that the party should survive. But the cry from Saraki is from a deep place, because for him it's like, if they don't do anything now, they may not even be able to contest the next election. And that will cost them a lot. So he's saying, please, gentlemen and ladies, or as the case may be, let's shield our swords. Let's just, you know, stick with what the appeal court has said right now, move the party forward. That's a genuine cry, but it will depend on whether, I think that if party members are genuinely interested, they should heed that call. But what I fear is that there are those who need to be destroyed. And so we'll have to see what happens at the end of the day.
All right, moving on. Okay, we're still on the papers review. Let's take a look at the Guardian newspaper. The headline on, one of the headlines on the Guardian newspaper says, APC's 31 of 36 state narrow options, multi-party contest in 2027. You guys are on page 6 on the Guardian newspaper. Dangote, Rabiu, Adenuga, Otedola dominates Forbes 2026 rich list. You guys are on page 29 on the Guardian newspaper. Another headline there says, federal government rolls out CNG kits as petrol, diesel spending nears 3 trillion naira in March. You get that on page 6 on the Guardian newspaper. Another one says, Africa as IS aviation accidents, IATI declares. You got that on page 5 on also the Guardian newspaper. Banks mandated to activate anti-money laundering system. Page 15 on the newspaper says, three newspaper on the line airport, but also on page C from the Guardian newspaper. Dr. Victor, let's talk about the big headline there that says APC's 31 of 36 state narrow options, multi-party contest in 2027.
It's interesting, but I think it is important to note that it's not governors that make up. Governors are not the ones going to vote. Well, while there are defections, how are governors made? Some of them, yes, of course, at the end of the day, it's through elections. Yeah. But governors that emerge are products of the people's vote. They are also products of godfatherism, okay, and a few other factors. Sometimes it also involves in some states where they do rotation among the various zones and all that within the state. And so, yes, governors have defected, and almost, in fact, we even hear that even the Bauchi governor may soon be joining. You know, who are left? The last 5 standing are the Accord Party in Osun State, Sherubawa, Abga with Soludo, of course Bauchi, Bala, Mohammed, and then we have, who else again? There are 2 other states, I'm trying to remember them now. Makinde.
They are yet to defect.
Yes, and then party in Addit, Ikwazu. These ones are the ones that are left. However, the governors have to have done well by themselves to be able to decide. If you look at a place like Rivers, for instance, I just want to use that as think when we start to talk about this later, there's a factor there, but that's weekend. Because Wike controls state, they control the party. You remember Fubara left him in PDP where he was making a problem, moved APC. Nova is APC in PDP, but he's still
This is Aqua Game, a popular game in Africa played by our ancestors to entertain themselves after each day of farming. It is also relevant in our coronation in Africa. It is a sport and indeed very interesting, as every seed had a role in the game.
All right, thank you. Now the program still on your television, independent TV, and the program this morning on ITV. Yes, we told you that we are going to be looking at what seems to be going on and what is catching the attention of a lot of persons, talking about the infrastructural developments, you know, across the country by politicians, and little wonder whether this is not politics or governance, as it were. Well, to discuss this morning with us, we have the special advisor on media and communications strategy with the Edo State government, Goswill Inegbe, is our guest on the program this morning. You're welcome to the program this morning on ITV.
Good morning, sir.
Okay.
Thanks for having me.
Okay. Then we're also expecting Mr. Tony Alile, and we're expecting him. He's going to be joining us via Zoom on the same topic on the program this morning. And of course, I have my co-anchor, Wisin of Masha. Wisin, welcome one more time.
Yeah, good morning, Evans, and of course, good morning to you. Welcome.
Good morning, sir. Thanks for having me.
All right, so Mr. Goswill, there's no doubt that political activity is, it's been heightened. I mean, we are seeing a massive defection, from political parties into the all-ruling Progressives Congress now, and that party seems to be getting bigger by the day and all that. Now, that's one discussion on one side, but let's shift our attention from that now and, look at what seems to be very, very conspicuous. So what we see around the roads being built around, and of course, the health facilities being provided here and there, and all that. Now, for the average Nigerian, they begin to see that this is politics. I mean, outside political era, outside elections period, we don't see this in Nigeria. I mean, the average Nigerian electorate, you know, is old enough, is experienced enough to see all these things for his or herself.
Well, thank you so much. For me, if the people that are saying they works of the governor of those states is giant strides.
No, let's look at it generally first, okay, before we begin to situate it.
Generally, let's look into generally. It's the same thing. If the people that are also making such comments that the giant stride of Mr. President in infrastructural development is as a result of politics, who are the beneficiary at the end of the day? Those infrastructure that the president is building, are the people not going to benefit from them? If let's assuming without not conceding it's about politics, but the point I'm making is this: those structures, are they not going to be there to be used by the masses? So, you know, sometimes when people make comments, it is important that you take an overview of what is happening before you make some comments to where such is happening. The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria today has demonstrated on equal leadership style. Where you see the opposition, or where the remnants of the opposition parties, they are complaining that the president is turning the country to a one-party system. Some of us begin to wonder, how does the president stop the opposition party leaders not to do their job? I mean, this man, the president, was once a strong opposition leader in this country. You know, pre-2015 general election, we saw how APC as an opposition party, as it then was, how focused, how united, how they stood to play the role of an opposition party, stricto sensu. But today, can that be said to this opposition party leaders that are complaining?
Yeah, but
the president is doing well.
We still have opposition parties. I mean, the ADC is there, the PDP is there, you know, so it is not as if maybe it is the first time that opposition parties are having issues. Even back then that you made reference to, the 2015, when we had the PDP in government then, when we had the ADC in government then and all that, we also had other opposition parties, they had their issues and all that. So it is not as if maybe this is the first time that we are having opposition parties and having issues.
Okay. Quickly, related to what you just said, I want to let's analyze the scenario before us today. When you say the opposition parties are there, I think maybe you are talking about the coalition, the core ADC, the operators that are there. And of course, if you say PDP, I want to be very cordial in my language this morning, because if you want to react to the recent court judgments against the factions in PDP today, there are two factions. Today we have the caretaker committee, then we have the national working committee based on the convention they say had in Ibadan. But I'm sure you are aware of the happy court judgment 2 days ago. Now, where did the PDP actually stand?
No, it's only natural. I mean, the case has been appealed in the Supreme Court. So,
let me even tell you the reality here.
Anyway, I don't want you to judge. I don't want you to be judgmental on that, because you are not in the PDP.
No. Because you refer to PDP as an opposition party. I'm saying, is PDP really an opposition party as it stands today?
Of course.
All right, now quickly, sir, please. That is not what we are here to discuss right now. Okay, and now let's just bring it back again to the topic about development. Is it governance or politics? Now, he asked a question about the developmental stride of Mr. President, talking about national issues right now. Some are of the opinion that Mr. President is underperforming. Take a look at security and, of course, the economy. What he's doing right now is to cover up for the lapses that he's having right now in terms of security and the economy. What do you have to say about that?
If the president, according to you, is underperforming,
not according to me, according to Nigerians generally.
No, you can't say Nigeria. I'm in Nigeria.
Majority of them?
No, that's not true.
You are among the bourgeois?
No, I beg to disagree.
No, if Nigerians, if Nigerians say that the president is underperforming in the area of security, to an extent, they may be correct.
Some Nigerians, that's what I'm saying.
Majority?
No, sorry, sir. It cannot be majority. To God today, if you say majority, please, sometimes when I appear on television, I try to situate this based on reality, based on fact, and not mere say or propaganda. Now, the reality here is that before this president came to office, in the entire federation, the governors of the ruling party were about 22 or 21 governors. As it stands today, we have 31 governors. It's a demonstration to the fact that the president is doing well. Today, people are joining the ruling party is as a result of the work that the president is doing.
What are the common masses gaining from Mr. President? Let's look at the situation right now.
If the common masses, when you use the word common masses, the infrastructure that this president is building is being used by the common masses. The interventions of Mr. President, in sectoral interventions of Mr. President, they are for the benefit of the common masses. Today, this country is not where it is before the president came into office. That is the fact. The economy, this is as there for anyone to analyze.
Okay, hold on. Sorry, Evans. Hold on, please. Let's just give you what common masses benefit from generally. Transportation, security, power supply, health. Among these five mentioned, how many of them are really beneficiary to the common masses? I'm bringing it down to the situation of the country right now. Remember, security, transportation, the economy, and I mentioned health. How many can the common masses really afford with ease?
That is exactly what I'm saying. That it's easier to give a blanket statement towards this sector you just mentioned. But the interventions of Mr. President in this sector, they are there. Before the president came into office, we know the state of security in this country. And the president has done well in ensuring...
Are you trying to say, Mr. Godswill, are you trying to say that security was better before the advent of...
No, it was bad. Better was bad. The president inherited a security architecture that was so bad.
So what is the state right now?
But right now, from the interventions of Mr. President, issue of security sometimes is not something that can be easily analyzed in the public. But we know the decisions, far-reaching decisions that this president has taken.
Yeah, we know, even if you may not, I know, because you may not want to tell what the president is doing in order to fight insecurity and all that. I understand that. But the public is always aware when we hear of, kidnappings here and there. I mean, typical example is what happened about a few days ago, where more than 100, people were kidnapped in northeastern states. That's why I'm asking, before the president came on board, are you saying that it was worse than how it is today?
I want to restate again that before the president came on board, the security situation in Nigeria was worse. In this part of the world, bad news, so to say, is easily celebrated.
But this whole thing happens for us to see.
Let me make my point. For instance, today, on social media, if there's a good thing that the government does, it can never go viral like the bad news. So take, for instance, people were kidnapped and they have been rescued. But that information doesn't go far. But the one that was kidnapped, that have not been able to rescue, the information goes viral.
But the roads that your governor is building in Edo State, I mean, the roads he's making and all that, they are viral. I mean, we can see those ones. That's good news.
Yes.
So don't you think that good news, the way bad news also, thrive on the social media, that's how good news thrive too. So let's try to balance the situation now, because what we are talking about now, we may be talking about maybe the governments of the day trying to make good roads and all that, but the security of lives and property is, a big issue, and that's what Wilson just mentioned. As far as this government is concerned, it appears that the federal government, even at the state level, are unable to really handle the security issues in the country.
Well, once again, I want to establish that security challenges that we are facing in Nigeria is not peculiar to this country alone. It's a global phenomenon. But the presidents and of course the governor of the state, they are doing their best to ensure lives and property of Nigerians they are saved, and to ensure the protection of Nigerians are prioritized. The president and the governor, they've made so much investment in our security sector. And you can see from the president, of course, the president ensured that the security chiefs, he ensures that the leadership, they are being monitored and supervised to ensure that they do what they're supposed to do. Security is not, as we keep telling people, is not just about the business of government alone. Security is a collective effort. If you want to achieve success in securing the states and the people's lives, it has to be a collaboration between the government and the people. And the fact that we have a president and a governor who, of course, both of them are not relating in their effort to ensure that Nigerians are saved.
So where do you think are we missing it now? That's what Nigerians want to know. We understand that really is a collaborative effort, because once in this country we had a president that launched a security campaign initiative. See something, say something. In other words, anything you see that looks like something that would threaten the security
that is of the ordinary, just
say it and all
report.
that. Now that's started yielding results to an extent, but without time, we didn't see that yielding any results and all that. So as it is now in the country, where do you think are we missing it?
Well, today as it stands, I know that the president has the best people that have the requisite intelligence in terms of security management. Look at the Minister of Defense. You know how he served and retired, and today is the Minister of Defense. That decision was made by the president because he wants the best hands to handle the issue of insecurity in Nigeria. But whereas we always we continue to appeal to Nigerians that the government, they are not sleeping. The government are doing their best, and I know in no distance time the challenges we face today in terms of insecurity in the nation will become a thing of the past, because this president is determined to put an end to the insecurity menace that is ravaging this country. The fact, or rather, our consolation is that we have a president and a governor who are determined to do what is needful to arrest the challenges of insecurity.
All right, now let's bring it down to various governors across the country. A governor did not give out wheelbarrow to its citizens, all in the name of empowerment. Other governor also, after budgeting billions, given a sachet of Gary, granules, Now I bring it down again to Edo. So as yesterday or 3 or 4 days ago, our governor offset the bills, the medical bills of a pregnant woman. The other was having a fire incident and the rest of them. Some are saying that these are just to score political cheap points. That is all about politics, really about politics. Now, what do you say about this?
The governor is doing well. I know he's my boss, but the fact remains that what the governor is doing, even the blind can see it, the deaf can hear the noise. It's only the few ones, people are entitled to their opinion.
Yeah.
Since this governor came on board, the people who are genuine about development, the patriotic Edo people, have seen the difference. Since this governor came on board, over 400 kilometers of road has been constructed. Over hundreds of schools have been remodeled or rebuilt. This governor has employed over 8,000 Edo as workers.
That's what I'm saying. It's all about the 2.5 million votes he promised Mr. President.
But the question is, are the beneficiaries of this governor's good works, are they not Edo people? That is the most important thing here. So today we have a governor who prioritizes the interests of the people than his personal interest. We have a governor who has turned Edo State into a construction site. It's a statement of fact, not a political statement.
So you're saying it's nothing to do with the 2.5 million vote promised to Mr. President by our governor?
If the governor promised 2.5 million votes and he didn't perform, how are you going to get the 2.5 million votes? And my point is, assuming the driving force of the governor, but without not conceding, is because of the 2.5 million votes. These infrastructures that are being put in place in Edo, I don't know the people that are going to benefit from it. Look at the flyovers. First in the history of the state. Whether you like this governor or you hate this governor, one thing that will define his administration is this legacy project that will outlive him. Children are born that, of course, after his time, will continue to reference his intervention in these states, because the man is bold, is courageous to face infrastructural deficit with righteous anger. When he came aboard, the situation was bad. See, we don't really want to talk politics. We want to talk about what the governor is doing. And any opportunity I have to appear on television, I speak to the facts on grounds. Look at the major entrance road in Benin City today. The Benin Sapile Road, the Benin Agbo Road, the Benin Auchi Ekboma Road.
Some are saying they smell politics in all of this.
Who are the beneficiaries? Politics or no politics? I know people are benefiting from it. Today, if you want to go to Ekboma now, you, within less than 2 hours, you are in a wreck, man. Before we came aboard, 5 hours you're on that road. At this time, before we came.
Anyway,
what of the Benin Sapile Road? Look at, okay, it's not just about constructing the road. If you see the technology that this government has employed, you see, look at the reinforced concrete technology road that will lead, that road can live up to 40 to 50 years. The government is committed. In good governance, practical governance.
It's like Mr. Governor is paying you too well to propagate his own gospel.
It's not propagation. This fast for itself. The doors are there.
Yeah,
anybody can go there and spare them.
Yeah. All right. Now, let me quickly, because what seems to be very clear that persons are saying is, you know, this 2.5 million vote that the governor, your governor, the governor of Edo State seems to be so concerned about. No doubt that is geared towards a federal politics, federal issues and all that. You talk about the 2.5 million vote that has to do with the presidential election, and of course you've even mentioned some of the projects that he's doing that seems to have a federal connotation. Now, the Era Teaching Hospital, if I get my records correct, is a federal institution. We have a state-owned institution, the specialist hospital in Benin City, that people may not be able to afford the hospital bills there. The question is, don't you think the governor seems to be too saddled with federal politics at the expense of state politics? Because for the average Edo person, it is the state politics that we somehow benefit the Edolites more. If the projects that the governor is doing are more state inclined than maybe trying to draw federal attention. I mean, I watched Governor Okpebolo sometime a few days ago, I think on one of the major roads that he's constructing, where he was quickly making reference to, okay, because of this now, there's no way that Edo people will not vote for the president in a 2027 presidential election. That is federal politics. What Edo people are saying is that be more concerned with Edo, with the issues at home. There are more domestic issues rather than federal politics.
The government is concerned about the issues at home.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that is why in every sector today, you see the footprints of this government. In all sectors, I stand to be challenged. In all sectors in Edo State, this governor has 1 or 2 interventions in just less than 15 months in office.
We're not talking about the sector.
No, you say you should be concerned about the domestic.
Yes, rather than trying to propagate.
Now, let me tell you the reason why the governor will continue to talk about Mr. President. Let me give you the reason. This governor, Senator Mondo Kwewolo, has continued to establish that the funds that he is having to embark on this sectoral project is as a result of the support he's having from Mr. President.
He doesn't have a choice.
Sir, no, he has a choice. He has a choice. Please let me land.
See, there are things that are statutory.
Okay.
Except if you are telling me now that Edo State is not a part of the 36 states.
Can I give you an example? We had a government.
Then you tell me of the states that there is not getting the federal.
But we had a government in this state that complained that due to paucity of funds, that was the reason why the government couldn't do anything.
That was a general problem then.
No, it's not a general problem.
Was a general problem.
No, sir. There was a bailout fund from Mr. President during the administration of Mr. Godwin Obaseki to every state. The bailout funds. They were given to all governors. Where was that money used in those states?
Let's concentrate more.
Look, the point I'm trying to tell you the reasons, the difference, why this governor will continue to talk about the president. Because the president has continued to support him by ensuring what is due to Edo State is given to Edo State. And to some extent, the personal relationship between this governor and the president is giving more advantage to Edo people, not the governor. You see, in politics, it is good for you to cultivate relationship that can be useful, that can be productive to your people. Yeah. During the last administration, he engaged in war, in battle with the presidency. But this governor said no.
Is that why the governor
does not benefit the substitute?
Is that why the governor is wooing more people to the president, to the APC?
The work of the governor. The governor is doing well.
Let's bring it down to sectors. We want to go sectorial. Yes. The power sector. And that's going to bring to mind the Osiomo issue. And right now, Mr. Governor is talking about starting off from the scratch another power, generation plants. 100 megawatts or kilowatt. I don't know the measurement. Come on now, some power of the opinion that, look, since we have an Osiomo power plant there, why couldn't Mr. Governor in terms of power generation? Remember that those citizens are languishing in darkness, and that led to the protest. Do you think that was the smart move? Mr. Governor said, look, let's get another one erected or structured in Ologbo. Is this about the people or politics?
This governor is a strategic governor. Electricity is the god of any modern economies. And because of this governor, that is why he's committed, or rather his actions being seen in order to reinforce the energy backbone that will drive the local economy in our dear state. The issue of Osiomo that you just referenced, as we have established before in different fora, the process of Osiomo was riddled with frauds. And this governor didn't shut down Osiomo. All he said that he is taking his time to sanitize the process, or rather, the system which Osiomo was operating upon. But that does not stop the governor. The opportunity arises where he can facilitate other operators, players in the power sector to come into Edo State, to come and contribute to the development of the state.
And don't take like how many years to erect a new power generation site?
Please let me furnish you with the right information, please.
Please do.
What happened a few days ago is historic in our state. Other many historic events that this governor has embarked upon since he came office. What was done that day is, of course, the groundbreaking of 100 megawatts by China Clean Energy Technology Company. Now, as based on the agreements of the state government and CCTEC, the completion of that project is going to be September. Rather, the project is going to be commissioned by the grace of God by September this year. And which means that Edo State will have to its grid 100 megawatts. Do you know what that one would do to the economy of this state?
Is this act to discredit the previous administration?
Is what to discredit what?
The previous administration.
The governor is not even conscious of the previous administration.
Are you
the
sure
governor is focused on the mandate of the people.
You don't think to discredit the previous administration, thereby heaping more political gains on this administration?
It's not political. You know, sometimes,
is it not all about politics?
It's very interesting that when a government is performing, the only comment that the leftover people the only comment that some opposition people can be making is that it's politics. But we had a government that didn't perform. Was it politics that made that comment not to perform?
Let us be careful.
This government is concerned about the Edo people.
Let us be careful with the way we say we had a government that did not perform.
Okay.
Because you know, we always say that facts are there. You know, the facts are also there that even during the last government, the government also did its performance in its own way.
Okay.
But away from that again, let me draw your attention back to the issue of Osioma, because you know, when you guys politicians, when you come on set to talk, I am very, very careful. I listen to you people a lot. Now, the issue of Osioma, now you know that at the end of the day, even if we have maybe a brand new Osioma still inside Osioma, you know, at the end of the day, you know that the power that is going to be generated, it will first of all go to the national grid. You understand that?
Of course.
Is that not true?
Oh, that's
before Edolites will start enjoying it. Now, I'm trying to speak from previous experience. Now, what are the modalities that the governor is putting in place now? So that, because I mean, you cannot expect you generate power here. At the end of the day, other places that are not part of this, they will enjoy it first than Edo State. So what are the modalities that is being put on ground, even as this arrangement is being made now, so that Edolites will be the first people that will enjoy this 100 megawatt that you just talked about?
The governor, when he met with the management of the CCTEC company, you see, the Senator Modokpewolo asked, if you have had the opportunity to be with this man, you understand that this man is not just the typical politician or typical person, the office of governor, who wants to use, who is a mindset is being overshadowed by the office he is occupying. No, simple and direct. He speaks directly to the company.
Yeah, please answer the question.
I'm here. That's why I'm going there. Yeah. The modality is this. The company has been informed directly by the governor that the interests of Edo people should be prioritized in what they are doing. That's why, to ensure that some percentage will be given to the states.
How many percent?
Those process and procedures. That I don't want to come on air and give statistics that won't be challenged tomorrow. But what I know that I'm privy to, because of the experience from the Osioma that we have referenced, this very one, though this company that are involved in this 100 megawatt power plant, everything about this project is being taken by this company. But this government provided the land, which of course Ologbo located in those states.
Yeah, we understand.
Another
all those are part of the MOU
is
and
part
all
of the
that,
agreement.
Yes, yes.
And based on that, these companies also now have a responsibility to deliver to the state based on these agreements. So there's specific percentage which I don't want to lay, or rather make a specific statement that can be challenged. I don't know. But I can assure you that it's all weighing for Edo people.
All right, so we must take this break now. Don't forget the program is still this morning on ITV, and our focus this morning is, you know, to try to analyze when we say government infrastructures, good, we love them, but we're trying to look at them whether these are not political gimmicks, and hence we have the essay on media and communications projects with the Edo State government, Godswill Enegbe, this morning. We'll be back. Please stay tuned. All right, thank you one more time. And the program's still on your television, this one on ITV. Gospel Inegbe is right here, and we're looking at infrastructural developments in Edo State. Now, we're trying to look at the issue around the Osiomo power generation, and of course, what the governor is doing. Good to know that we have a new law now that stipulates that the issue of power generation is now concurrent. Unlike before that it was exclusive. So what that means is that at the time that this power generation in Osiomo comes into use, then it means that Edo people will be the first beneficiary of this power, as it were. So you tell us, we're trying to explain the modalities that the governor has put in place to ensure that Edo people enjoy this power first. So can you continue on that based on this latest information that we have now?
Thank you for that information. Just as I was trying to explain that the targeted beneficiary of this collaboration between the state government and the CCTEC company is the Edo people. That's the end game of Mr. Governor towards this collaboration. And the beneficiaries, as I said before, which are the Edo people, the governor, once again, want to thank Mr. President for that historic law that was signed into law that now makes states to have the independence.
So why don't you thank the National Assembly? I mean, the National Assembly, do you know how many times it starts to deliberate on
this issue? Mr. President could have withdrawn his assets. If the National Assembly passed a bill and is not signed by Mr. President, it's exercising futility, with all due respect, sir. So that's why you thank Mr. President. Of course, we also thank the National House of Assembly for the good work they did. Today, the state government have that independence to, attract operators in power sector to invest in the state in terms of power generation in different states. And it's one of the benefits that Edo is enjoying. And this governor has been a proactive governor.
Godswill, I feel like asking you a million questions. Please, I know what it takes to have you on this program.
I'm here to answer questions.
Are you going to guarantee us on this program now? Because whatever you say now, I'm going to use it to praise you tomorrow or to use it against you tomorrow. Now, are you going to tell us on this program here and today that if this Osiomo issue comes into reality, that the issue of power is going to be better in Edo State?
The issue of the 100 megawatts?
Yes.
Okay, not
Osiomo. The issue of the 100 megawatts is going to be better in Edo State?
Yes, of course. See, as I said before, electricity is the lifeblood of any economy. And the Okwewa administration is concerned about the local economy of Edo State. And that's why electricity is a major driver. And the governor want to ensure that the states, governance for Okwewa as is concerned is practical. And whatever he demand or the governor is doing is displaying practical governance for everyone to see. I want to assure the anchors of this program this morning and the Edo people that by the time these companies are done with this 100 megawatts, the electricity challenge in Edo State will be a lot of improvement on it. And that project is for the benefit of Edo people.
Okay. All right. I think at this point, we would have loved to continue, but we must go over to Abuja so that we can have that. All right. So let's quickly take a short break. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned.
This is Aqua Game, a popular game in Africa played by our ancestors to entertain themselves after each day of farming.
Thank you one more time. We still have some time, so we'll still dive on more issues even as the program goes on. Now, you made mention, because I told you that let us be careful so that our politicians don't play politics with infrastructural development that people are supposed to get. Now, we had the Osimo power plants that a lot of persons are used to, but from what you just said now, the China Clean Energy Company, that seems to be different. So why is the governor, governance is continuity. So why do you think Okpebholo is not continuing with where Osimo stopped? Why? That's the politics
power
in it.
sector is a vast sector when you have different operators in the sectors. It's just that when you are doing business now, you have different people that are involved in the business and they approach you with a good deal. Despite the fact that you already have other persons you are dealing with, does that one stop you not to allow a good deal that will benefit your people? So this company is an operator in the power sector, and they approach the governor. They saw the kind of person the governor is, and they approach him and they discuss, and the governor find out that what they are bringing on board is what will benefit Edo people. So you allow them to come in.
So if this one says through, what happens to the Osimo power plant?
The Osimo power plant is it running? Has it been shut down? All right.
Now,
it has to be shut down.
Yeah, but you know what? One thing. Hold on. Please hold on. One thing is about you.
Yes.
Structurally giving us extra 100 megawatts. So the second thing is for it to be affordable. Do you think that the common masses living in Edo State can afford the power generated in this new China company?
Yes, it's part of the discussion that Mr. Governor had with the company, that by the time this project is completed, the issue of consumption and what the people are paying for should be given a consideration so that the people can afford it. So the governor, whatever decision he takes, will be for the benefit of Edo people, because he's driven by the interest of the people and not by selfish interest.
Okay. All right. So we'll leave the discussion here today, and with I promise that sometime bring in Gosulinegbe, and then we'll talk about roads and see how the roads are political or not. So we're going to be talking about that. All right. So we'll go back to Abuja now. Don't forget the program is still this morning on ITV. Gosul, we'll say thank you so much for joining on the program today.
Thanks for having me.
Okay. All right. So Abuja, over to you. Okay.
It's like we're having a network issue right now.
Yeah. We're saying when we see politicians, when they do their things and all that, it is only natural that the ordinary Nigerian, keep on suspecting, especially when it has not been like that. And just like what I said a while ago, that time will tell. I think most of the things we've said here, the second tenure of Governor Modu Okpebholo will actually speak for itself, whether all these things are being political or not. So the second tenure will tell.
But for what is stress is whether it's politics or not political, as long as people are gaining, isn't it?
That is the point, because the interest of the people is what drives Mr. Governor. So whatever decision the governor embarks upon, whatever project is building, is for the interest and the benefit of the people.
Well, I stand around the 2.5 billion vote of Mr. President.
Is
that what you're saying right now?
If the governor is not doing well, 2.5 million voters will not support him to vote for Mr. President.
Wow.
So the governor is doing well, and that's why you see whenever he's talking about this 2.5 million vote, he says it with all confidence, because he knows that he is working for the people, and for the people to say thank you to him for what he's doing is to support him to vote Mr. President in come 2027.
But what I say that it's all political, because whenever he does a thing, he will like the 2.5 million vote. Thank you, President Bola Ahmed Asiwaju Tinubu, for all this. But I say this is all politics. Tell me now, how can Mr. Governor blur this particular line between politics and people benefiting from governance.
The office...
So hold on, how did it be that our president is not coming back for a second term? Do you think he'll be doing all this?
Why not? When you say politics, let's not forget that the office that the governor occupies is a political office. It's a political office. So when people are using this word politics, it's as if it's a language that means not too well for the people. No, let us not forget that for you to occupy a political position today, it is politics that you play to get there. So, but this governor is overriding factor, or what moves and drives him is that whatever he is doing is for the benefit and the interest of the people. And if all this infrastructure that the governor has impacted upon is impacting the lives of the people, changing the economy of the states, and making life to be easy for the ordinary man and woman in the streets, is that not a better situation with our people than you want to say, oh, I don't want to be criticized? At the end of the day, the people are suffering. This government is doing well. I want to appeal that everybody should support him.
No,
I think Abuja is ready now.
I won't want you to campaign on that. Everybody should support him. That's going to be campaigning. I won't let you do that.
I'm going to charge you for that.
But in as much as we're still waiting for Abuja, let's quickly look at some of the roads, because I've been privileged to be in ERA. Now, you said that, okay, I think
Abuja is ready.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that some other time. Gus, we won't say thank you anyway. Thank you so
for
much.
having me.
All right, so Tolu, you may call me now.
It is also relevant in our coronation in Africa. It is a sport and indeed very interesting, as every seed had a role in the game. Playtime is 45 minutes per set. There is no age limit as long as you can spin aqua seed. Ayo or aqua game, known as the game of intellectual. This game requires a lot of mathematical skills. Aqua game is played with carved wooden box containing 12 holes.
Import, what the price of petroleum product will be. Go and look at Ghana, look at Zimbabwe, look at every West African coast countries. Without the type of local refineries or domestic refineries that we have. Yes, one can hope we are expecting. We expect that this war will be sustained for a long time. I might be wrong, because too many things is at stake in terms of global economy. Just cast your mind back to the disruption we have under COVID. And if this war against Israel and Iran, the US is not the one that is at war, in my opinion. It is more or less a Middle East crisis that the US somehow, anytime time a president in the U.S. has a domestic issue, they injected themselves into where they should not. Again, this is my opinion. I don't think this could have been escalated because Obama did his best to make sure that this relationship between Iran and the Middle East is curtailed. But Trump is the one who came and blew it, and now is facing it. So I don't expect that this war would be longer than normal.
Okay. Paraventure go move the market.
Against one, I will admit a man of Texas was Nigeria market. Now, don't policy analysis scenario and begin to think of refining the proportion of your crude in Nigeria and begin to try to export product. Again, we should not allow hard currency quickness to drive our policy. If sustainable development is a goal. So what do I mean? One, think in terms of selling crude to the market. The cost effect. I'm not asking for particularly when they depending on price factor to determine of production. Possibly not the same. Even our productivity is not the same. So we must find a price within the domestic crude market for Nigeria and move away from this export-import parity. The opportunity cost of that is much more than what you gain selling crude and at an international price for a domestic market. It's just like saying that I'm going to be selling gari to people making up eba at import parity because I can export gari. No. What is your income level, which is what determines the demand curve for crude oil? Second, strengthen your currency. Stop foreign validation of your currency. Because there was a time in which I spent Naira in Amsterdam, in London, and even changed Naira in the United States for dollar. So begin to think in terms of, say, okay, I'm going to price my crude in Naira, irrespective of the opportunity cost of selling it in dollar. And then when you strengthen your Naira with honoring your currency, then you begin to see value addition. And you won't be struggling with the volatility of crude oil prices. The US is, if not for politics, do they care? This is where conservation comes in. And finally, the government must begin to build infrastructure for delivery efficiency of their products. And this is now thinking about the future because this thing will continue to happen. There's a geopolitical realignment. 3 countries are trying to dominate the world, and they're actually trying to partition the world in their prison. And nations like Nigeria, who should actually be part of those fighting to partition the world, we are caught up with political stupidity, especially in the governance of the oil and gas sector. And this is the 3 things that government needs to begin to do. Sell crude to domestic refinery, sell it in Naira, and build infrastructure for delivery efficiency. And the price will be stable. Hey, I'm very happy with what is going on. Not the pain, but the market is reacting the way the global oil market is behaving. And that's the first time. And listen, there's no gain without pain. The pain will not be long. I keep saying that. I keep saying that, and I believe it.
One major salient point that I can't shy away from, talking about the impact of the global crisis on Nigerian economy, especially the price of fuel across the lane streets of Lagos, Abuja, and stuff like that. And but that brings us to one major issue that also has to do with the fact that the government have been selling crude in Naira to the oil refiners, especially Dangote. So we are also supposed to be immune away from what is happening on the international market. Is it not supposed to be so?
Yes, of course. They too will be trading in Naira, and they are going to be looking at Nigerian affordability index in terms of what is the disposable income, what is the proportion of people's salary that they are paying for petrol. That's what determines the demand curve. Demand is what every consumer is willing and able to pay for a unit of commodity that they are buying. Yeah. That when you continue to ask people to pay for petrol using
Yeah, so we lost contact with Professor Wumi Lidari right there, the former president of Nigeria Energy Economics Organization. Hopefully we can reconnect back with him, still talking on the impact of the crisis in the Middle East and the attendant influence on the Nigerian economy, especially that has led to the increase in well, now we have Professor Wumi Lidari back. You are on a particular thought, sir. You can go ahead. Okay, we are actually trying to connect with him, and he was talking about the impact of the on the Middle East crisis on the Nigerian economy, especially with the fact that one of the biggest oil refiner in Nigeria, talking about the Dangote Group, happens to also be getting their crude oil in Naira, which is decision taken by federal government. As this has outcome, we are also still being affected by the crisis in the Middle East. Or is this something that is just being put around or by the oil refiner or oil producers in Nigeria, put into consideration the fact that the price of a liter of fuel has jumped from about 800 naira to 1 naira right now? What does it mean? Here and Professor Lidari, thank you for joining us back right there. Still talking about the attendant impact of what is happening right there, considering the fact that Nigeria is selling crude oil to Dangote refinery at naira rate, not at dollar. How come there is still an increase in the price of fuel?
Well, obviously, internet connection.
You can go ahead, sir. The network right there to ensure that we have Professor Ilidari to take a look at what is really happening right there, and also looking at it. There are so many issues to really tackle when it comes to the sudden increase in the price of crude oil across the length and breadth of Nigeria. And he said something critical, the fact that Nigeria should also be a major player in the current issues happening right there, talking about the Middle East crisis. I don't know which side Nigeria will be at this point in time, but it's just like you mentioned, the world is being partitioned across 3 countries right there. Where will Nigeria take their stand? We'll see how things will pan out, but Nigeria will just have to take a look and see how things will pan out today or right there. So much really happening right there. I think we have Prof back with us. We couldn't still get him to link up with us again, talking about Professor Wumi Lidari, where we're taking a look at the attendant influence of the price of the crisis in the Middle East on Nigeria economy. We'll take a quick break right now. We'll be right back.
is Anegbete community, situated in Isako Central Local Government area of Edo State. It is an agrarian community with united people that promotes unity and oneness for peaceful coexistence. The inhabitants of the community migrated from Benin, the cradle of black civilization, a kingdom where king is truly king. The ancestors of Anegbete saw that age was the main determinant of leadership in the rural setting, and the eldest man in the settlement was regarded as the leader who presided over meetings, and his authority is held in high esteem. To further strengthen this unique system of leadership, age group evolved in Anegbete. In Anegbete, age group is categorized into two, that is, the common and the noble. Anegbete is rich in cultural heritage, as the community at noon saw the commitment of the festival with the first set rolled out in beauty colors to showcase their might and strength, indicating their feet and ready for the responsibilities behold on them. The streets in the community with a feed up of young men and women adorned with the festival. Later, the royal family takes the stage as their children fight out royally and work in the community to showcase their might and fitness.
My leader.
Talking about this, the fact that crude has been sold in naira to some refiners in Nigeria. How come they are still being affected by the price? What is happening in the Middle East?
Well, I explained to you in market expectation.
Okay.
The fact that the fear of not having crude to come to Dangote refinery or any other refinery in Nigeria is called replacement cost. What will it cost me to replace the crude that I'm refining now? That's going to be what will determine the price. That is the way the market works. I know we are not clear with that.
policy limited when true, when Nigerians cannot adjust the market pricing to the reality of the crude supply. Every time there is $1 increase in the price of crude, there will be almost 80-cent increase in the cost of converting crude to petroleum products. And most of the time, the refiner cannot absorb it. So it's called expectation and speculation. There's nothing you can do about that. Your job will be taken away from you in 6 months. You are going to reduce your spending. So if the refinery is not cost him to replace the crude, if the depot is not sure what's going to cost to the delivery, then he has to be that expectation, and that's what is driving the price. But you see now that Dangote has reduced the price, and others have reduced the price, because the fear of non-availability of products in the future has been reduced, because the U.S. came and said, no, the law will not be prolonged. That is expectation. That's not the fundamentals of the market in itself. That's the reaction to the shock in the market. After adjustment is going to come back to the market fundamentals. That is the way the market works. And we are transitioning nations into market.
I must say a big thank you to you, Professor Wumi, for joining us this morning and also shedding light. Hopefully, as we continue to talk on and find some of the postulations can also be implemented by government. Really help to ensure that we are a little bit immune to some of what is happening in the Middle East, not only now and also for the future. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us.
Thank you very much. Governance is the key. Governance must be transformational and not transactional.
Thank you for that last word coming from you. And that's Professor Wumi Ledare there joining us live to talk about the current crisis in the Middle East. But from the Abuja Network studio right there, we now move over to our Lagos Network studio, where Ms. Lena is also standing by to continue with the line of conversation.
several parties, and as you have observed, new parties have emerged, and some have been even more strengthened. ADC, for instance, has been further strengthened. PDP may have been depleted somewhat, but you recall even during the last election, Labour Party rose because of the leading candidate and all that. So it does appear that because of the gale of defections that we're tilting towards a one-party state, which means that if you go by the number of governors, now 31 for the latest addition, and as they will say, still counting. We hear that the Bauchi State Governor, Bala Mohammed, may be joining very soon. So that will now make it like 32 out of 36. So it might appear like a one-party state, but we'll have to wait and see. Because at the end of the day, what determines is the people on the ground. It's not the number of governors. The governors, after all, I just said one. You might say they control states, but what are those things that go into making a governor? First, the people's votes, godfatherism, and there are other issues too, like in some states where they are very strong on rotation, you know, from one, if you are from one, rotation or power shifting. so where from one, what do you call it now, from one senatorial district, power must shift to the other. And so if the people feel strongly that it must come from this side, and they have a strong candidate there, you can come from any other party, that's your problem. If you're not from the right side, they may not vote for you. So there are a lot of factors that will determine. But yes, it is a wish of the ruling party that Nigeria becomes a one-party state. After all, there was a time when PDP was a dominant party. Very, very dominant. It seemed like, I mean, they were in control all over. It was like a one-party state, truly, you know. But for how long did that last? What it led to was an internal implosion, you know. And that implosion arose because birds, not of identical plumage, but of, you know, discordant plumage, different colors of, you know, were in one place, and then, of course, they were fighting themselves inside there. And that is something I see that may be happening when the time comes.
Okay, a lot of persons are saying at this point, not just about the government defecting, that they're looking at 2027, saying that the 2027 election might be between the APC and the people, the APC and Nigerians at this point, not the APC with another opposition party.
That may not be entirely true. A lot can change between now and then. Why do I say so? As I speak to you, I'm not here to do political analysis in details, but we can't run away from, because that's what we're doing. What I mean is, I don't want to analyze the elections, but we can't run away from it. If you check what is happening, North, for instance, clearly feels marginalized. Again, you say I keep talking about the nepotism government, but it is obvious that they are practicing nepotism at the federal level, where dominantly people from one tribe are getting all the juicy positions at the expense of others. That was what they accused Jonathan of, and then they started fighting. Southwest was saying that they were not getting a fair. Now, yes, some few northern politicians are getting good positions, but there are many who are disgruntled in the north, and there are many determined others. These are back. It is basics at the fair as well, which is doing what they are. But at the end of the day, you talk APC versus APC. I agree with you, because to determine the stomach infrastructure, you know, seeing people deceived over at the polling booths, they give them 5,000, 10,000, and they've seen the results. I can tell you that there will be a few converts away from that. When I say converts away from that, people who will now say, sorry, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to look at the next 4 years. 10,000 is not worth it. 5,000 is not worth it. So you can't buy, or they collect your money and they vote another way. I see a lot of that happening because people are suffering and they are seeing what is going on. So yes, that is going to determine. So if we say it's again about the people, APC versus the people, it therefore means that the people are going to be casting their votes elsewhere. Now let me say something, and this is very important. Although we would have gotten to it eventually, but I don't want to forget it. It's important to note that there have been what seems to be like the comfort base now of the ruling party is the fact that when you have governors, you already have won the state. Is that really the case? That is a big question.
Yeah, true.
I want us to look at what has happened before. Permit me, I want to give an example of about, let me just refer about a couple of governors when defection was not as rife as it is now. Because then the governors were doing it very carefully because now there's so much impunity. They just do it without any regard to the law. Ideally, before you change or defect, because you are carrying you are carrying the votes of your party, and then you are now carrying everything to another party. That is wrong. Unless there's actual division, you can prove it and all that. So then they were doing it discreetly, but now there's so much impunity. All you need to do is you just declare. The courts have been, taken over, so there's nothing that will happen to you. And so now people can come out and they are now afraid that if they don't move, things may happen to them and all that. But there have been governors before who have defected.
Okay.
And a few of them, let me just mention about 3 and the consequences.
Okay.
Ben Ayade, you recall, of Cross River State, he defected from PDP to APC. But that did not guarantee him a second term. He failed. He did not win. The incumbent governor, who has also defected now, defeated. I'm mixing up Rivers with Cross River. Ben Ayade is from Cross River. So he lost. The people decided PDP is their party. And they voted. Although now you can see that even that one has moved over to the ruling APC. Another is Bello Matawale of Zamfara State. He defected to APC and he lost his re-election bid also in 2023. These are 2 people that defected to APC during Buhari's time, but they lost their re-election bid. The third one was Abdul Fattah Ahmed of Kwara State. He defected in his case to PDP from APC, but he lost. Now what does that tell us? That you may defect, you are governor, but there's no guarantee.
Sure.
In the case of Ben Ayade, the state is traditionally PDP. He defected to APC and said, you're on your own. You can join them if you want, but we are traditionally, because of grassroots, PDP, and he lost. Bello Matawale, the same thing. He went to APC, but he lost, even though he's in the north.
So you defecting does not guarantee...
It's not a guarantee that you will carry the state along with you.
Interesting.
You have resources, you have money, but there's no guarantee that the state will move with you. And we'll have to see how that plays out also in Rivers State. Okay? When Fubara was getting so much heat from Wiki and PDP, he moved over to APC. Has he found peace in APC? Not necessarily. You understand? So, and the Rivers people, if you ask me, although he has his reasons for it, if he had gone to a neutral party, I can assure you that the Rivers people would have gone with him. Right now, all the opposition needs to do in Rivers right now is get a credible candidate, and you see a protest vote. Because PDP has been infiltrated now. Wike is there with his leg there, firmly entrenched. So we just need a strong alternative voice, maybe ADC. If they can present a very strong and formidable candidate, you will see protests. The whole of Rivers will go that way.
Talking about the ADC, you feel the ADC coalition, so we saw that Peter Obi formally defected to joined the ADC rather. Yeah. So do you see this the coalition, the whole coalition thing, defeating the APC? I'm talking about the ADC.
First of all, let me make a prediction.
Okay.
Peter Obi will still leave ADC.
No, he's going to leave ADC.
He will leave ADC.
Interesting.
He will not contest on ADC platform. He will move from there to another party. Maybe he will go back to Labour. Mark what I'm saying to you today. Okay? So, but what is going to happen at the end of the day is, I mean, these are two formidable parties. Unfortunately, what might give it to APC at the end of the day is if you have 2 or 3 parties emerging very strong against APC, it might work against them. Because if they were all together under one umbrella, like when you used to have like PDP, APC as the dominant ones, then it would be an equal match. That's what made APC win the last time. If there was no Labour, if it was strictly between Atiku in PDP and Tinubu, Atiku would have won that election.
Because I feel at this point, the reason why you said Obi would leave ADC and go to another party. Is it because it feels that, because I mean Atiku would not want to, step down the position of he would not want to step down forward.
He went to meet Atiku in ADC. Atiku is firmly entrenched there. And Atiku knows how to play primaries very well. He's an experienced and wily old fox in that area. He will clearly win that primary. There's no 2 ways about it. Obedience, who have said they will not play second fiddle and all that, there's nothing they can do. They will have to leave. There's nothing they can do. Right now, the party machinery, Atiku may not be talking much, but he owns that machinery. And he's going to win that primaries. He's a specialist at winning primaries. Okay?
So, Dr. Victor, at this point, do you think the current defections are based on ideology or political survival?
It's political survival. There's no ideology in Nigerian politics, clearly. Let's not deceive ourselves. Ideology is completely off the table.
So it's political survival?
That's what it is. Nothing, no more, no less. No more, no less. That's exactly what it is.
It's interesting. So let's talk about the INEC's credibility in this whole thing. How critical will INEC's credibility be in 2027, the forthcoming 2027 election?
I can't judge their credibility ahead of time. As a body, it's supposed to be a credible body. They're supposed to be an independent body. However, their integrity will be at stake in that election. Why? Because after all is said and done, there will be people at the various polling units who will be aware of how the elections went. If it's clearly in favor of APC, that's the way it is. But if it's not, and it is another party, and INEC decides otherwise, like Mahmoud did, making an announcement in the dead of night, when he knows people are sleeping, then it begs to question the integrity and credibility of the process. Okay? So INEC is all we have, so we cannot disparage it. We can only hope that it will do its best. So its integrity will be judged by how it conducts the next election.
So let's talk about the economic performance. How will economic performance shape in 2027 outcomes?
You remember I talked about stomach infrastructure.
Sure.
It doesn't matter what the Bureau of Statistics say. It doesn't matter what the party says, the ruling party says. What will determine how people vote will be stomach infrastructure, courtesy of, what's his name, Fayoshe. Because at the end of the day, if you say Nigeria is better, I'll ask myself, in my home, is Nigeria better? I will look at my expenses, I'll look at my income, I'll look at my standard of living. At the end of the day, I think that is what is going to matter. That's the index that will determine. Yes, there will be all sorts of manipulations and things like that, but as we say, last, how you feel, how you are hit. It's not about people coming to influence you anymore. I can add that in the north, It will not be about politicians coming to influence or buy votes anymore. It will be about how the people feel. It will be like that across the country. So this government has enough time to be able, not by going out like the former vice president was going to the market sharing 10,000 among women. That's not what we're talking about. That it's about you going to the market. What is the cost of gari?
Yes, to know the cost of all those
gas.
things. True.
You know, cost of tomato, pepper.
True.
You know, can you buy a loaf of bread? Or are you watching your child go hungry? You just give him water, put sugar inside and say we couldn't manage him. Is it when you were doing 111, are you now doing 101 or 011 or 001 or 001 or 010? All of that is going to determine. And I tell you, there's pent-up anger. But like I said, the government has the opportunity. What the government can do is, right now, more money is available to the governors. Now there are 31 governors. If these governors can let these benefits of this increased federal allocations get to the people, if they don't steal the money and misappropriate it, it gets to the people. If the people actually enjoy the benefits and the dividends, then it will favor them. It's the same as governors. If you allow the dividends reach the people at the grassroots, then these people will come out and support you. But if they're suffering all over in the state, you cannot say anything and then hope that people will support you. No, things are changing.
So what scenario could realistically threaten APC dominance?
Cost of living.
Cost of living.
Security. Things like that. I mean, I just saw something that broke my heart yesterday.
Okay. I
saw a video of a guy in Edo North, around Auchi, who was going to deliver ransom money. Was lying over his Okada, killed. And I'm wondering, I was asking a question on one of our fora, Fuga Progressive Union Fora, and I said, where is our senator? Where are our reps? Who are the people speaking for us? There's so much insecurity in Edo State right now. I dare not go to my village.
There's so much. There's so much.
So much killing in our forests and all that. Nobody is talking. Our senators are there, frolicking up and down. We're not hearing their voice crying out about the killings. You saw what happened also in Edo North. The doctors who were kidnapped.
Yeah.
Thank God for what happened, where one of the kidnappers took his child to the hospital, where after they had killed the junior doctor, two from one family. Then the senior brother, he saw the kidnapper and recognized him and called the police, and he was arrested. That citizen's arrest. What is happening? Senator Adams Oshomole and our House of Reps and the other, I'm talking about Edo North, about all the other senators from Edo State, what are you doing in the National Assembly? Why don't you cry out so that there will be more focus on Edo State? I'm talking because we are talking from this about something in Edo. You know, what is happening? You know? So if our reps begin to talk and begin to show empathy, for instance, and I'm using my senator for instance, if he comes home, a tournament he comes home, if he visits, empathizes with people who are losing, it's easy to read. When he comes back to say vote for, people will listen to him. Because they see a person who empathizes, who cares. But if what you're doing is you come out, you are in a car, air-conditioned car, you are doing big miles, so during the election, you come, you start eating agbado on the road, and you start, people will not listen to you. That era is fast fading away.
Okay, let's talk about voters' apathy. Do you think it's likely going to increase or reduce, or decrease rather?
It's increasing, but we can provoke the people to come out. It's increasing because people feel that their votes don't count.
Yeah.
People feel, why am I going to vote? The one I voted last, what happened? People are feeling, look, what's the point? These politicians are all the same. They're all useless. Well, I'm not saying, I'm just saying, you know, and all that. What is, you know, so because of that, they don't care. People are just feeling, look, where can I go vote? I won't waste my time. I won't waste my vote anymore. I'd rather sit at home than go and risk my life going out there and then, you know. and then the politicians, as usual, will have their way. So it will increase. But in order to change that, there's a need for sensitization and provocation and enlightenment to make people come out and realize that whether I think your vote counts or not, come out there. Vote first and let us see whether it will be manipulated.
Yeah,
come out overwhelmingly, let's say we'll come and change the votes.
I agree with what you just said, because I had a conversation with someone and he said, why should I go out and vote when my vote is not going to count? I mean, go out first to vote and then let's see. Yeah. You know, people are just scared. People think, okay, if I go out, it's just like me, just like I'm wasting my time. I go out to vote. How am I sure my vote is being, counted? How am I sure my vote is there? You know, people are scared. Well, I believe it's going to, reduce. I don't know. I just feel the government needs to do the right thing. You know, and also people were also looking at visual electronic transmission of results and all of that, you know, when the Senate came to say that, okay, we would have annual as backup. And a lot of persons are also scared, thinking, won't it be manipulated before it has been uploaded?
See, the parties themselves need to do, especially opposition, they need to do their own enlightenment. And part of what they need to do is, if INEC does not do electronic voting, citizens can do electronic voting. How? When they are counting the votes and making the announcement in your polling unit, take your camera, record it, upload it to social media. If everyone does that everywhere and there is evidence, when you show evidence of the votes that have been counted, the man says in this polling unit, Party X had 152 votes, Party P had 15 votes. Then INEC announces something different. You already have documentary evidence. Do you understand what I'm saying? We can do that. It's for the parties to do proper mobilization and enlightenment. If we all come out, nobody can manipulate the system one way or another, either in favor of Party A, Party B, or Party C.
So you feel, you made mention of something earlier about vote buying. You feel, because I had a guest, the guest said, I'm coming out to give you money to vote for my party, yeah? It is left for you. You collect the money. It is left for you to vote for either the party or vote for the party you want to vote for. So he was also saying that it's also boils down to we the citizen. I mean, they are giving you money to vote, and they're not like forcing you, telling you to vote for this particular party. You can just collect the money if you want to. I mean, they still go there and vote for the party you want to vote for.
The parties have become ingenious. You know what they say? They give you money afterwards. They say, vote. Just lift the thing like this. They are behind somewhere watching. Do you understand?
Sure.
Vote, raise your ballot box. Your ballot paper. Just raise it and then fold it and put it. And then come and collect your money. And while they are distributing their placement and watching, because they will get their share. The INEC people watching, they will say to them, there is no justice in this country, honestly. There is no law.
There's no law in the country.
No, it's terrible.
Interesting. Okay, if it retains 2027, what that mean for political pluralism?
That's another very good question there. It might seem like it threatens multi-party system, but it just simply means that it's one of two things. Either they have done well, okay, and deserve it, or they have manipulated the system and then gotten there. But what it will mean simply is that there's always a blowback from things like that. So you have a ship. That's where there were no direction. When you have a situation where one party becomes very... So how Nigerians feel is what determines which we take up for.
Sure.
And we can be out again if a party is ruling and the results we're getting are different. Like for instance, insecurity, hunger, and things of of the sort. We have to wait and see. It's too early yet to predict how it will turn out.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Victor, for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nigerians. Thank you, all our viewers, for joining our Lagos Network studio this beautiful morning on TMI. I am Marcelina Umpo. We'll be handing over to Benin for the continuation on TMI. Just stay with us.
Good morning. Welcome to the news update on Independent Television. I am Eko Davis. Natives of Usen community in Ovia Southwest local government area of Edo State are counting their losses after a rainstorm wreaked havoc on houses, markets, electric poles, and other facilities within the community. Williams Yammer has details.
Natives of Usen community in Ovia Southwest local government area appealing to the state government and relevant authorities to come to their aid following a devastating rainstorm that struck the area on Monday. Several houses had their roofs blown off, while electric poles were pulled down, leaving many parts of the community without electricity. Household items were not spared, as furniture, electronics, mattresses, and clothing were damaged by the rainstorm. The destruction was massive, as some buildings were badly affected and perimeter fences pulled down by the windstorm. Landlords, tenants, and traders who were affected called on the state government and relevant authorities, including kind-hearted Nigerians, to come to their aid.
Houses were pulled down, electricity poles were all being brought down, and a lot of havoc.
Please come and help us. I beg you, on behalf of the entire community, I beg you, ask of help.
William Siama, ITV News.
Suspected alleged to be involved in the abduction of two medical doctors, with one murdered in Auchi, Issaquah West local government area, Edo State, have been formally arraigned before the High Court in Auchi. The suspects, who were apprehended by security operatives after a series of investigations, were docked in the court. Edo North correspondent Anthony Igbano has details.
Demonstrators come to observe proceedings and trail of the kidnapped suspect who allegedly masterminded the kidnap of two medical doctors with one murdered at Igbira camp along Igara Road, Auchi. The presiding judge, Justice Onikai, ordered the suspect to be remanded to custody while the justice proceedings continue. The court subsequently adjourned the case to March 23, 2006 for further hearing and continuation of legal proceedings. Commenting, Dr. Dawood Mahmood said the court is determined determined to ensure that justice is served. He said the suspect has been arraigned and that the law will take its full course as the trials continue. The protesters expressed frustration over the recurring cause of kidnapping that has disrupted normal life and instilled fears among residents, especially professionals such as doctors. They urged relevant authority to ensure that those responsible for the criminal act are brought to justice. They also appealed to government and security agencies to intensify effort in safeguarding lives and properties in Auchi and surrounding communities.
The set of charges preferred against them include charges of murder, which is a very capital offense. Kidnapping also. It's also a very serious offense under the law. So in view of the nature of the offense under consideration, the court is entitled to pronounce party who is found guilty of murder to be sentenced to death, subject to other less extreme measures at the court disposal to also, arrive at as a decision.
Following the commencement of the trail of the kidnapped suspect, residents are hopeful that the court will deliver justice while reinforcing the rule of law and restoring confidence in the fight against criminal activities in the area. Anthony Igbano, ITV News.
The governor of Edo State, Senator Monday Okpebholo, has received the victorious Team Edo, who emerged champions of the second edition of the Niger Delta Games tagged Edo 2026. Team Edo hosted and won the tournament with a total medal tally of 111 medals, comprising 52 gold, 35 bronze, and 25 bronze medals. Government House correspondent Kingsley Uchegbo has details.
Governor Okpebholo received the victorious Team Edo, who emerged overall winners at the recently concluded NDDC Niger Delta Games. The team garnered a total of 54 gold medals, 34 silver medals, and 25 bronze medals. Governor Okpebholo, who earlier predicted the victory of Team Edo and backed it up with 30 million naira cash reward, noted that 111 medals won by the team attests to innate talents and his administration's investments in sports.
A total of 111 medals won. Congratulations once more. You have made Edo very, very proud, and we are proud of you. Your talent is something that we need to harness. We need to build on it. We need to make sure that we invest in you so that we get to the heights.
Chairman, Edo State Sports Commission, Amadine Desmond Nabulele, attributed the victory to the administration's policy direction in grassroots sports development. Permanent Secretary, Edo State Sports Commission, Mrs. Arese Efe Amenze, thanked Governor Okpebholo for the enabling environment which necessitated the latest victory after Team Edo won its last major title during the 2002 National Sports Festival.
His Excellency made all necessary resources available for us to give Team Edo adequate preparation. Today, we have a good story to tell with Team Edo not only winning, but with a big margin.
After 24 years, Edo is back. We are back with a grateful heart. We are here to assure you, sir, that we'll continue to do what we know how to do best.
High point was the presentation of the winning team and the tournament's trophy to Governor Okpebholo. The 2026 NDDC Niger Delta Games had its theme as Beyond Oil, Harnessing Talent. From Benin, Kingsley Uchegbo, ITV News.
A team from Christ Embassy, also known as Love World Mission, has visited the ASAM of Benin, Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osawaru Igbinedia, with messages from Pastor Chris Oyahilome and Pastor Tom Amiechena. Pius Nsogo reports that the message from Pastor Chris Oyahilome, specially inviting the ASAM of Benin to participate in their upcoming live streaming service on TV, was accompanied by a wedding invitation card by Pastor Tom Amiechena for the patriarch to attend his daughter's marriage.
The Christ Embassy team was led by the regional pastor, Pastor Moses Olayemi, and were warmly received by the Esama of Benin and Honorary Romanian Consul to Edo and Delta States of Nigeria, His Excellency Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osawari Benedium. The august visitors went straight to deliver their message from the man of God, Pastor Chris Oyakilome.
I came here today for two reasons, sir. Reason number one, our man of God, Pastor Chris, will be having Pastor will be having the healing streams. I just want to show you.
Presenting the message, Pastor Moses Olayemi said Pastor Chris Oyakilome will be having healing streams service on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and wants the Esama of Benin to be part of the global audience.
This is a little present from us. In it, we have what we call the Healing School magazine, and we have this modern gadget from our man of God. This is the Healing School magazine. There's a program that Pastor does every quarter. It is called the Healing School Online, Healing Streams Online. We want you to be starting this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We would like our highly esteemed Isama to watch that program. Yeah, I know. You have the pictures of you always watch. So I thought we would remind you now again.
The message from Pastor Tom Mekena requested the Esamas present at his second daughter's marriage.
You remember that when Reverend Tom's first daughter was to marry, I brought the invitation to you, Daddy. And now the second and the last daughter is getting married. So the idea is Reverend Tom said I should present the invitation card personally to you, sir. Thank you, sir.
I'm the head of the family.
That family,
that's great. With the rabble.
The rabble, yes.
I'm so happy with the head.
I didn't even know.
A man like the Esama of Benin is rare to find. His love for God, his philanthropic gesture, and his respect for culture and tradition stand him out at all times. From the residents of the Esama of Benin, Pius Nsogo, ITV News.
This is Will Call It a Wrap on today's edition on the News Update on Independent Television. Thank you so much for watching. I am Echoy Davis. Good morning.
ITV, certainly the best.
Ugeni Madonna, Imazedion, Orero, obviously, Manazo, or Ugeni Madonna.
You will have to serve the community for 30 years before you come to this stage.
they will ordain you your title. Then by then you are one of the elder.
This year now, we don't read the year, so that's why we can't do this year.
Historically, joining the elders
Good morning. This is TMI Socials. I am Anuoluwakbo Stevens. Or better still, call me a social media butterfly. And I'll tell you what, a lot of things to talk about on social media. But today we begin in Port Harcourt, where in a rather embarrassing video circulating online shows a tense moment during the screening of commissioner nominees submitted by Governor Sim Fubara to the Rivers State House of Assembly. Now, the footage scene shows the Speaker of the Assembly, Martin Amerili, questioning one of the nominees, Charity Dimoa, over the status of her tax clearance certificate. Now, during the screening session, Amerili pointed out that the nominee's tax clearance appeared outdated. Take a look at the drama.
Tax clearance. It's dated December 31st, 2018, and there's no update. I just wanted for you to clarify.
So there's no tax clearance, current one?
There's no current one.
Madam, you've not been paying tax since 2018?
I just wanted to know if she's been exempted from paying tax.
So let's tell us now. Let her tell us.
Like I said before, I'm a politician.
You were what?
I am a politician.
You're a politician?
Yes.
So politicians don't pay tax?
We don't have an office.
Hold on. Let me get you. You say you're a politician. So politicians don't pay tax?
I don't have work.
Okay, you don't have work.
I don't have work. It's when I got nominated into the River.
So since you don't have work, you have not been paying tax or taxes since 2018 to date. That's what you are saying. Is it only when you have work that you get income? You don't have any business?
Mr. Speaker, I think tax is generated from your income.
You have not had any income since 2018 till date. Madam, you are under oath. You have not had any income from 2018 to 2026. No income. That's what you're telling Rivers people.
I was a member, a commissioner in the Rivers State House of Assembly Service Commission.
When were you? Hold on. When you were a local government caretaker committee member, right?
I was just 3 months there.
When was that?
I think November last year.
When was that?
Well, this is Nigeria where anything goes. I think I'm going to join politics so I don't get to pay tax. You know what I mean? Anyway, how did you take this in line? We move over to tweets and reactions. We'll start off with this user who wrote, no tax since 2018. Nominated as commissioner in 2026. The audacity is actually the qualification. Another user reacting to this on X. Let's take a look. This one wrote, this woman has screened herself out already. If the House of Assembly later pass her, then I will know that the House is the most corrupt in the system. Still reacting to this story online, Pastor B wrote, Rivers State never ceased to amaze me. What is this? Well, it's an ongoing conversation online. I will keep you up to speed as regards it. Away from that, let's move over to Abuja and talk about our president. Now, in a now viral video, President Bola Tinubu has pledged that Nigeria will not yield to individuals seeking to disrupt peace and unity in the country. Speaking at an interfaith etafar with religious and traditional leaders at the presidential villa in Abuja on Monday, Tinubu emphasized the nation's determination to overcome security. Let's take a look.
Yes, we are challenged. The terrorists, they are very desperate now because they are getting barraged and defeated. They leave traces of blood in their fields. But I assure you one thing, Nigeria will never surrender. We are not deterred. We're going to win and win well.
We are going to win and win well. Now, in another viral video, Nigerians are currently reacting to an incitement from Sheikh Gumi. Take a look.
Well, sir. Well, but a lot of people have seen you in clips and pictures with this terrorist where you know where they are. We've communicated with them. You've even as far as negotiating with them, you know. So a lot of people believe that since you have, you know, this knowledge about all this, is it that the government does not have the power or the equipment to know where these terrorists are to tackle insecurity?
The government knows every terrorist by name and by location. I don't go yellow. I don't go to the terrorists alone. I call the police, I call the security, everybody. I will go to the MES, another place. And
Well, this is Nigeria, that's all I can say. As at this moment, the federal government has not reacted to this incitement from Sheikh Gumi. But reacting to these online, let's have tweets and reactions from Nigerians who wrote, I remembered when the governor of Zamfara once confirmed in an interview that they know these bandits are down to their family houses. When asked why they haven't dealt with them, he turned to the interviewer and said, that is the question I should be asking you. Why haven't you dealt with them? Oh my goodness. Well, still in the story, this user wrote, we do not need this kind of rhetoric from Sheikh Gumi. He has repeated this claim countless times, and his statements are starting to sound like a cliche, yet nothing concrete has been done. And he went on and on and on. But away from that, let's move over to another reaction, still on this interesting one. This user wrote, if the government really knows every terrorist by name and location, then the problem is no longer lack of intelligence, it is lack of action. Nigerians are left wondering, why does the military not move in? Why do civilians need to negotiate with people and the state claims it can't find? Okay, well, interesting conversation, I must say. But away from that, Nigerians are currently reacting online, as it seems to us that the issue regarding rice palliative has resurfaced again, as politicians across Nigeria, including APC lawmakers and governors in Kaduna and Kano, were seen in a now viral video distributing thousands of rice, a bag of rice labeled as 2026 palliatives, amid double-digit inflation projected at 37% and repeated national grid failures. Now, in the clips that will be going on, there was even a video where a certain politician was dishing out 200 naira notes each to youth. Take a look.
A whole house of rep, Mr. Dako and Ameru. Those are the food where we come for Iliali community. Most Jama where they Iliali community, they say me they share. And this food, they say they must pay 3,000 naira for transport. They say they pay 3,000 for transport for those food. And they will take share this food for Jama where pass 50 people. So Iliali community say they don't want. As come be saying that this rice and small beans, like a whole dark house of red brick, we don't want. May go carry them, go back.
How did you take this online? Let's see tweets and the reactions. With this user on X saying, all my life, this is what politicians do year in, year out. 28 years on this earth, and this is what we get yearly from these people. No growth, no change, no nothing. Genuinely, we are not angry enough. Another user on X reacting, Pascal says, is there anything these people are not telling us about rice? I mean, what is the bound or the bond between these politicians and rice? I bet this rice gets spiritual impact on Nigerians. Really? Am I the only one thinking about this? Well, I don't know. I think you're the only one, Pascal, thinking about this. But away from that, let's move over to Enugu State, where in a now viral video, students of the College of Nursing at Nnamdi Azikiwe University Teaching Hospital yesterday staged a protest over a sharp increase in their tuition fees from 90,000 naira to 580,000 naira. Let's take a look. Well, from 90,000 naira to 580,000 naira, that is a sharp increase if you ask me. But reacting to this online, Nigerians, this is what you have been saying. This one on X wrote, a price hike is unavoidable owing to the economy and cost of running an institution of this sort. But going over 6 times the initial fee is unthinkable. That's poor strategy. Flame on X. Another user saying something different. Idris wrote, hiking school fees by over 500% is nothing short of academic robbery. NATUH is turning a vital nursing education into a privilege for the wealthy, completely ignoring the struggles of hard-working students. This is unacceptable and demands urgent reversal. Now, finally on the story, this user wrote, wait, from 90K to 580K, that's over how many percent increase? Are these people okay at all? Like, you didn't increase the school fees by 50% to even, let's say, double, but you went as high as 580K. This is big time wickedness. Whoa, it's an ongoing conversation online, and we'll keep you up to speed as development unfolds. That's all from me this morning on TMI Socials. I am Anuoluwapo Stevens, and from all of us on This Morning on ITV, Lagos, Abuja, and right here in Edo State, we'll see you again tomorrow.